Alright guys, how's it going? So let's do a setup video. For those of you guys that watched my my house tour, this is the landing, top of the stairs, and this is basically my office will be the first one on the right, game room, whatever you want to call it, man town. We've got many names for it. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of give you a quick tour of the room, talk about some things, then I'm going to get into my PC. Well, first I'll probably talk about my console station, then I'll talk about my PC, get into kind of what I first bought to give you guys an idea. I know a lot of you kind of console guys are thinking about PC. We've seen a lot of that on the forums lately. This might give you kind of a better idea what I felt like it was a good system at the time. And then I'll basically go into what my PC is right now and how I've upgraded it, what I've targeted, and then maybe what I'm going to target in the near future as far as upgrades. And then if I have time and the video doesn't run too long, I'm going to kind of maybe talk about a little bit of my workflow to maybe give you guys an idea exactly like how I make a video. That might even get bumped to its own video if you guys are really interested in that. Depends how long this runs, where I'll kind of go over my work process, and I do this here, I do that there, I do that there. For those of you that are thinking about making videos and are interested in that. So first let's introduce you to the dogs, I guess. Hey Tobes. Say hi, Tobes. You big dopey bastard. Toby is a puggle. He is, I don't even know what he is. He's huge for a beagle, and he's extremely huge for a pug. So, I don't know. But he's kind of crazy. He's medicated, but he's still crazy. And this is my little girl, the only girl in the house. Hi, Alice. She kind of takes over the boys' chairs when they're not at home. That is my oldest son's chair. That's Daddy's chair. And then this one is my youngest. He just got this for Christmas because he's always stealing the other chair from his big brother, and they're fighting over it. Problem is I can't really quite fit it in here just yet. I haven't figured that out yet. Other than that, a couple little windows there for some light. The bookcase, the arrow that seems to confuse everybody so much these days. It's just a yard sale sign for my wife's little yard sale she does. The bookcase that you guys have probably seen a ton of times now between the podcast and the just vlogs and type of things. These aren't all the books. These are just kind of all the books I own now. I kind of had to get rid of a lot of them. I used to read a ton, like at least an hour or two a night. That was before kids and certainly before YouTube. Now I read for about 20 minutes a night, and I am passed the heck out. But I love to read. I love books. These are just kind of most of my favorites. I'm trying to just look at some right now. Like here's some. These are probably these are definitely my all-time favorites right here. Most of you guys know it by Game of Thrones. It's a Song of Ice and Fire by George Martin. Everybody's probably seen the HBO series by now, but if you haven't read the books, guys, you have to read the books. They're awesome. They're incredible. Best series by far. The unfortunate part is the author takes a really long time to write each book. I'm talking like 4 or 5 years. There's a lot of conjecture about the fact that he's a really overweight guy, not very healthy. He's going to die before he finishes the series, so there's some worry about that. But awesome series, my favorite by far. Better than the TV series. You should read it before you watch it. I like the series, don't get me wrong, but the books are way better. I know everybody says that, but in this case, the WTF moments are much better when you're reading them in much more detail. So that's just, it's just kind of a bookshelf, kind of some pictures and things like that. Holding some of my favorite books and some books I got as gifts, because pretty much everything now for me is on a Kindle, because I read too much, it saves me money, and I keep them all in one place. I think that's about it for that wall. Obviously you can see up there is my my modem, that kind of stuff. Autographed Doc Gooden picture back there that's falling down I gotta get. It's actually signed for my son. I'm a Mets fan. I'm from New York, obviously. Yeah, I know, long-suffering Mets fan. We'll pan around over here. I'm trying to make sure I get a good picture, but I'm looking through the viewfinder. This is pretty much my console station. This is actually how this room started. I used to play consoles all the way in my basement. I don't know if I took you guys in the basement, did I? I have a 60-inch TV down there. Love that TV. Wish I could find a good spot for it upstairs, because it's really good to watch sports and stuff on. I used to game on it. Not good. Bigger is not better in the form of gaming. You literally had to move your head to check your mini-map, things like that. You'd play for an hour or two and your neck would hurt. So I went and did a lot of research. I bought this, and I should say now, guys, I'm going to try to supply links in the description of all the things I own and recommend. If I own something and I don't recommend it, I will write no recommend or whatever. There's really only 1 or 2 things I can think of that I wouldn't recommend at this point. This is an LG. I don't know off the top of my head. I'll have to look it up. 120 megahertz TV, 2 millisecond response time. I kind of went a little crazy, shopped around a lot. I actually got a really good deal. I got it on Amazon Warehouse. Basically, the original packaging was damaged. It came in just like a generic box, and they gave it to me for like half off. It was awesome. It's one of my favorite purchases so far, honestly. Great TV. I watch all my sports in here now, and I play consoles when I play on there. Like I said, there's a little camera bag for the camera I'm using right now. My PS3 is right there, my cable box, BVR, and the beat the hell Xbox. That sounds like a helicopter. The thing is crazy. Unfortunately, basically my PS3 is basically a DVD box, Netflix box right now. The Xbox doesn't really even get turned on because I'm afraid it's going to blow up. It's really bad shape. I wish they'd hurry up and bring out the next gen so I could just buy one and not feel weird about it. I got my Triton headset, mix amp right there. I don't really use that much, but they're hooked up for the consoles in case I need them because I have since upgraded. I didn't really have a problem with the Tritons. They sound great. The mic is pretty bad, though. The mic kept going out on me. I think it was more the jack. Got sloppy, got loose. So I don't know that I'd recommend them to you guys. There's probably better options now. I bought that, good lord, at least a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. At least a year and a half ago, I'd say. I think I got it the summer before last. Yeah, you probably got better options at this point. That's just an external HD. That's where basically I put, once I've made videos, excuse me, and I've uploaded them to YouTube, about once a month I'll take them off my PC and I'll store them there. At this point now I have like 250 videos that are like 1 gigabyte a piece, so it adds up, and I want them kind of, you know, redundancy in case something really bad happens, that I don't lose all my final videos, and worst case scenario I could always re-upload them again, which would be a chore, but it could be done. You see the baby gates. We got baby gates everywhere in this house. For between the 1-year-old and the dogs, we kind of got to control the movement. So typically what I'll do is I'll just kind of take my computer chair, roll it around, I'll sit right here, and this is where I console game. I console game on Battlefield for a long time before I got a PC. But many nights were spent here. Literally when my son was first born, before the PC was here, he had his swing. He had bad acid reflux, so he had to sleep sitting up. Basically, he would sit right there in his swing. I would sit here in the chair, and I would play Battlefield 3 all night long while he would get up once an hour or so. And a lot of the guys that played with me then, real life buddies, would make fun of me, but hey, I look back on it fondly now. It was a good time. Wife didn't give me a hard time about playing video games all night because I was up taking care of my son at the same time, and she got to sleep. Just a quick little preview. You guys look here. That's some of my airsoft stuff real quick. I'm not going to talk about that here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do immediately upon finishing this video, I'm going to do kind of a setup on that stuff because a lot of you guys on Facebook have been kind of asking for a quick little rundown of some of the stuff I've gotten recently, so I'll just touch on that. So I'll get that up. If you guys are interested, let me know. I'll put it up on the main channel. Any of you guys do airsoft, that kind of thing. I'm getting into it pretty big time, and I'm enjoying kind of researching the equipment and stuff. So let's get into the beast. Just at a quick glance, see, I've got the 2 monitor setup. I should probably... Alright, so I just put the blind down so you guys can hopefully see a little bit better. First thing you notice, coffee cup. You'll see a lot of coffee cups around me, both as a dad with kids, and certainly as a YouTuber, and especially as both. How do I put out so many videos? I get asked all the time. You got to give something up. I do not give up family time. Cannot give up the real job. What do you give up? You give up sleep. Really, there's no way around that. Something's got to give, and in my life, it's sleep. I get a lot less than I used to. But and I'm starting to wonder if that's why I've been sick so much. I think I got to step it back a little bit and find a better scenario or work schedule, but we'll work on that. So, again, 2 monitors. This is an old, this little one, the secondary monitor is an old one, a Dell. I think it's like 20-inch, 19-inch maybe. I've had it for years and years on my old PC. It was actually sitting in my attic. Luckily, I never threw it out because, you know, the wife wanted to 1,000 times. I pretty much didn't throw it out just because I didn't know how to throw it out. Our dump is, you can't just like put it out at the street. You got to go at a certain day. I'm lazy. I didn't do it. Thankfully, I didn't, because then when I built this PC, I could spend big bucks on this main monitor and use that one as a secondary. It's worked fine. The main monitor is a planar. Ironically enough, I got it off of a Level Cap recommendation video back when he had like 3,000 subscribers. I was one of his, well, I guess not one of his first subs, but I subbed to him when he had about 2,000 subscribers. He did a review video of the planar, and he also did something else I got that he got, I think. I don't remember now. But yeah, it was definitely this monitor that I checked out, and I got it. It was not cheap, but it is a beast. 120 megahertz refresh rate, like under 2 millisecond response time. It's 3D enabled. I never use it. Spent a lot of money. Probably spent more money than I needed to. Well, definitely spent more money than I needed to. But at the time, I had a little extra cash, and I figured I'm building this big beast PC to push out frames and things at Ultra. I want to be able to see it. You know, don't forget that when you build a PC, and if it's pushing out really good Ultra settings and high frames, if your monitor can't show you it, you're wasting power basically. So you don't need to spend as much as I did. I'll try and provide a link for that. I don't even know if this model's available anymore, but I want to say it was north of $300. Yeah, it was probably right around 3, I think. I almost want to say 4, but I don't think it was that high. I'm not sure off the top of my head. You see, I just recently got the Death Adder. I had the Rat 7, started having laser problems, so I just said screw it and got a new one. I didn't have time to troubleshoot. Your mouse goes, you're trying to play, it's almost a confidence thing. If you're not confident in your mouse working, it undermines everything. I tried fixing a couple things, didn't work, so I just scrapped the Rat. I loved the Rat 7 when it worked, but it is a Mad Catz product, so it doesn't have the best reliability. That's not the only thing right now I couldn't recommend to you. Again, it could just need a cleaning. I don't know. I have to get in and play with it a little more. I just had the Death Adder because I couldn't be down troubleshooting for a week, and I had to get game. I had to get editing. That's why you'll see I have a secondary mouse here now, just in case. Kind of came with one of the components of my new PC. You see the iPhone 5 just recently upgraded. I should mention this because I probably do a lot of my admin work on that, basically answering comments, forums, Skype, Twitter, Facebook. That's pretty much all done on iPhone. You guys all know I have terrible typing, typos, spelling. It's because of the goddamn autocorrect on the iPhone, but and my thumbs and the keyboard don't really work that well. That's why I do most of my follow-up work on the iPhone. If you're talking to me, chances are I'm typing on that thing, and I wear them out pretty quick because I'm on them a lot. Gotta have the water. It sounds like I need some right now. See the monster mouse pad? I'm still trying to figure out a good mouse pad. I move my mouse a lot, so a lot of times it drives me nuts if it falls off the mouse pad. I got another one back there. Trying different surfaces. I'm never happy. This one I've had for a while now. I don't like it because it's ugly and it's like huge and doesn't fit. Because again, this is just a cheap IKEA plastic table. Pretty terrible, but does the job for now. And I don't know if I mentioned in the other video, me being in his room is fairly temporary. My son, who is across the hall over there in the nursery, he's going to move over here probably within the next year because he's going to need a bigger room, and you want to have the rooms be pretty much the same size, otherwise they will fight. And I'll probably move over there in my office, and that's where I'll build a more permanent setup. But for now, it's a plastic BJ's Costco table. It's actually done the job pretty well. I can't complain. Keyboard is a DOS Silent. Let me see right here. DOS keyboard Model S professional wired standard keyboard. It is not silent. It's a load of BS. But I knew that getting it. It's a mechanical keyboard, and there's no such thing as a silent mechanical keyboard. I believe, oh god, I don't remember exactly. They have the cherry red keys. It might be browns. I don't remember what I picked at the last minute. Cherry reds are what you see mostly for gaming. The browns I think are supposed to be kind of in between. I don't remember what I picked. I want to say the reds though. I have no problem. You see, I even pimped it out. Got some different WASD and escape keys, that type of thing. That was for when I first started out. I thought it might help me kind of find the keys. I guess it does, but I mean, it was only a couple bucks. It wasn't a big deal. I think this thing went for about 120 bucks, something like that. It wasn't cheap, but I have no regrets. Those of you that actually play with me, you hear this thing all the time. All my headphone mics pick it up. The Yeti picks it up. There's just no way around it. Thing's loud. So you hear me moving around. You probably hear it in videos too, honestly. What else would I? Oh yeah, I got the Astro Mix Amp. Just picked these up not that long ago. And they're right here. I have them hanging right next to me. I'm actually loving these things. They sound great. The microphone is fine for like comms and things like that. I'm not crazy about it for like recording. I'll change my screensaver. I'm not crazy about it for recording, but I have the Yeti for that. But doing live comms, I mean, you guys have heard it. It's not as good as, say, the Yeti, but I don't know that there really would be a headset as good as the Yeti, frankly. And speaking of the Yeti, I had this for a little while now. I love the way this thing looks. I mean, it's huge. It's on your desk. I wish I could, like, set it up better. One of my to-do wish list purchases is a boom, kind of, to put off on the side of the table that I can just move it in front of me when I need it. But it's a little pricey. It's not something I need, so I keep putting it off. Probably won't be until the spring or something like that. I definitely need to get a pop filter for it. You guys probably hear me all the time popping. It's kind of annoying. So there's kind of the basic layout, guys. It's not, I mean, ain't anything crazy. Spend a lot of time here in my beat up old computer chair. It's probably time for a new one. It's starting to get kind of beat up. Doesn't have much padding left. I've had that thing for 6, 7, 8 years now. About time to probably upgrade that. Here's my tower. I'm going to sit down and kind of go over it with you a little more detail in the video. I'm going to turn off this camera in a second. It's a half 922 case. It was under $100. I got it on a nice sale at Micro Center. If you have them around, you always check them out. They always have really good sales. So I probably got it for like $60, and I have no problems with the thing. Great price, great space, a lot of upgrade slots. I mean, I've got this thing pretty maxed out, as you'll see. Airflow is great. Doesn't have a lot of dust, and you can see I have 2 kids. I have 3 dogs. I had a lot of dust in this house, and I just cleaned it out yesterday, actually. And I was surprised at how little was in there. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off now. I'm going to pull up a screenshot of all my components, and I'll go into each one of those with you in more detail.